to my channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me in today's video. So today I'm going to be reviewing this Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. Now I've seen this foundation pretty much all over YouTube and I'm just like, okay, I want to see what the hype is about. Some people are comparing it to Huda Beauty's Faux Filter. I'm like, oh, we're going there? We're comparing it to like Huda? Oh, okay. So yeah, I want to test it out for myself. Obviously I don't own Huda because it's way too expensive, especially here in South Africa. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to be testing out this foundation. Now for all my South African people, I do know that the shade selection right now is very limited. Initially when they first brought it in, they only brought in 2 shades, but when I bought this a few days ago, I noticed that they do have a few lighter shades as well. So I do think that they're going to gradually bring in all the shades in this range. So if you can't find your shade yet, just be patient. I'm sure they're going to bring it in. So without any further ado, let's just hop into this review. That rhymed. So this foundation claims to be full coverage and you can get up to 24 hours of wear. I mean, I don't know if I want to test that theory, but I mean, that is pretty strong claim. So we're going to see how this wears, and especially on my oily frying pan situation, you guys know. Yeah, it comes in this really nice, sleek bottle, which is really amazing. And it also comes with a pump. I've already used this once before so that I could give you guys, you know, an honest opinion about this foundation. So yeah, I have the shade 60 Caramel, which I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's a little bit dark for me. But okay, it's not a little, it's a lot dark for me. But yeah, it should work pretty well. So let's get into this. Okay, so first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and prime with my Kiki Beauty Makeup Ready Face Primer. And I'm just gonna prime my entire face, just because my skin is so blemished. I want to give this foundation a fair chance. So when you pump the foundation out, it's almost like a semi-liquidy sort of texture. So it's like a little runny, but it's not too liquidy. So I'm just going to take this and dot this onto my face. And then I'm taking my flat top kabuki brush from Switch Beauty. And I'm just going to stipple this into my skin. Okay, right off the bat, I probably put too much of foundation on. But I mean, the coverage is pretty good. So this is what the one side of my face looks like with a brush. Now I'm going to go ahead on this side of my face and just blend this foundation in with a sponge. Okay, as I'm blending this foundation, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to tell on camera, but this foundation has oxidized just a little bit. So in terms of the brush side and the sponge side, both keep the coverage of the foundation, so it really doesn't matter what you decide to use to blend your foundation into your face. And yeah, I'm gonna have to say, in terms of like the finish of this foundation, it definitely dries down to a satin like skin like finish. It's not like dewy where it's like, you know, making you look glowy, but it's definitely like a natural skin like finish in my opinion. And I really like the coverage. I think it's pretty decent, and it's covered up like the pigmentation on my nose fairly good as well. I mean, there's like a slight bit of pigmentation on my nose peeking through. So yeah, I will say this is probably like a medium to full coverage, but yeah, it's not just medium and it's not just full. It's like, for me, like the perfect in between, because there are a few spots where a little bit, like the slightest bit of the underneath skin tone is coming through, but for the most part it's a pretty decent coverage. I'm not gonna lie, like this is really insane, especially for something that comes from the drugstore. I mean, also like along these areas right here, like it's almost like smoothing out my pores as well, so it kind of gives you like a very perfected look on the skin. Honestly, I'm a little shook. Like, with the fact that this foundation on the bottle only claims to be a full coverage foundation and 24-hour wear, and it doesn't tell you any of these other things that I'm noticing. I mean, it's pretty crazy. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead off of camera, finish off the rest of my makeup, and yeah, I'll be right back. And we're gonna be doing a wear test as well to see how well this wears on the skin. So yeah, so the time right now is 29 minutes past 12. I am back and the time right now is 1:25. Don't know if you guys can see that. So yeah, overall I will say that the makeup looks really good. Like, everything is sitting on top of the foundation really well. It's not caking, it's not doing any crazy thing so far. It's not even settling into like my expression lines yet. But the foundation looks really good, you guys. I am so impressed by the coverage of this foundation, how it looks on the face. I'm just so shook right now. This foundation looks absolutely amazing. I'm not even getting like the slightest bit of shininess along my nose area yet. So yeah, I'm gonna wear this makeup for the rest of the afternoon. I'm gonna check in every 2 to 3 hours, tell you guys what I think so far of this foundation. I'm liking it so far, so I'll check in with you guys in a couple of hours time. Okay, so the time right now is currently 29 minutes past 4. Oh my god, I timed that really well. Damn. Okay, so it has been 4 hours since I've had this foundation on. I have not touched up, I have not done anything to my face. I've eaten, so obviously my liquid lip is kind of fading. And okay, so I have to say that it's settling into my expression lines ever so slightly, but like my nose is just beginning to get shiny along this area, and the center of my forehead is not shiny yet. Can we just take a moment, because usually the center of my forehead is oil slick in like 2.5 hours, and it's been 4 hours. So I'm really impressed with the way the makeup looks so far. I mean, it's definitely lasting quite well, especially in my oily areas. I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of like just blot the sides of my nose. Yeah, I guess I will be seeing you guys in the next 3 to 4 hours. Okay guys, so the time right now is 8:47 and I've been wearing this makeup now for just over 8 hours. So it has been probably the longest 8 hours ever. So yeah, I will say that this is going to be the second and last check-in that I do with this foundation. I think I did give it a fairly good chance to prove itself. The foundation looks pretty good. I will say, like, in certain areas, like, the foundation began to rub off. Like, I have a pimple right here and the redness is kind of peeking through, but I mean, I'm not too fussed about that. And then yeah, the foundation looks pretty good. As you guys can see, I'm a lot oilier than I was when I first checked in. The foundation around my nose area is pretty much rubbed off because I started sneezing and all that stuff, you know, sinus people problems. I'm gonna close out this video. I will say, in terms of like the cons, there's not a lot of cons. I mean, it did settle just in the slightest bit in my expression lines, but like, you can't really tell. And yeah, I'm really surprised that I have so much of like scabbing and like pimples on my face, but it's not like emphasizing my pimples or like drawing attention to the pimples, which is really nice. And overall, it sits really well on the skin. I don't have any cons besides the fact that it does settle in my expression lines ever so slightly. I mean, I do have foundations that do settle worse than this one, so that's pretty much it, I guess. I will say, in terms of the coverage as well, I will say this foundation is more medium to full, not completely full, but it's also very lightweight on the skin. It doesn't feel heavy, it doesn't feel like I have foundation on my skin. I mean, right now I can feel the liquid lipstick on my lips more than I can feel the foundation on my face. So I mean, that should tell you something. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this foundation, you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I will definitely talk to you guys in tomorrow's video. Don't forget to slay all day, every day, with and without makeup. Comment down below. Let me know if you tried this foundation and what your thoughts are on this foundation. And I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!